Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Am I audible? Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Right. Good morning, guys. And check it what we completed in the last session. So in the last classes, I think we are discussing about the differences between Java and others. The topic we are discussing, we are almost all. So 5 differences might be completed. The next differences can we have to understand. Right. So before that, if any of you are not accessing the notes, if any of you are getting the notes, please take this URL. In this URL, the daily classroom notes is available. So there we can just copy this and we can paste this in the browser. There we are able to get the daily classroom notes. This is a URL for daily classroom notes. Please take this one, https://tinyurl.com/corejava830am. So this URL, in this URL only, the daily classroom is going on. Classroom notes, now try to utilize this. If you are not yet received any notes, daily classroom notes, now try to utilize this. https://tinyurl.com/corejava830am. Okay. Right, sir. Good. Shall we start now? Directly, we can type this in the browser URL. Then directly we are able to get the document. If you open the document, there we can see daily classroom notes. Up to yesterday, what I have typed there, then that was available in the document. Try to utilize this. Okay, fine. Okay. All right, sir. Now see this, the last point, what is the point here we are discussing there? In the last class, we have discussed about multi-threading related topic here, sorry, multiple inheritance. We understood there in the last class, fifth one. So few points I have discussed there in the last class. What are the few points here we understand there? First of all, the point is what? Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. So here the point is what? If any programming language allows its applications to represent data in the form of objects by following the object-oriented features, then that programming language is called an object-oriented programming language. There are 7 number of object-oriented features. What are the 7 number of object-oriented features? Class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, and message passing. In object-oriented programming languages, we are able to write programs in the form of classes, where the classes are able to represent all real-world entities in the form of coding part. What are the various examples for it now? Student, employee, customer, account, product, and so on. All these are like what their classes only. Some examples I have given how to declare classes: class student, class employee, and so on. We can declare any number of classes as per the requirement. Just by using a keyword, that keyword is what their class keyword. Inheritance. What is the meaning of inheritance? I don't require all the object oriented features immediately, but now I need to understand what their inheritance. What is an inheritance? Inheritance is a relation between classes. Inheritance is a relation between classes. It will bring or provide variables and methods from one class to another class. It will bring or provide variables and methods from one class to another class. The class which is providing variables and methods to some other class is called a parent class or a base class or a superclass. What is the right terminology here? Superclass. Superclass is the right terminology. The class which is getting variables and methods from a superclass is called a child class or a derived class or a subclass. Here the right terminology is what there? Subclass only. The main advantage of the inheritance is what there? Code reusability. The main advantage of the inheritance is what their code reusability. How many types of inheritances are available in outside? Initially, two types of inheritances are available. What are the two types of inheritances initially? If you observe this, single inheritance, and second one is what their multiple inheritance. On the basis of the single and multiple inheritances, there are three more inheritances. What are the three more inheritances now? Multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, hybrid inheritance. Single inheritance. What is the meaning of single inheritance now? It is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from only one superclass and to one or more number of subclasses. Here we have the conditional number of superclasses only. We don't have any condition on the number of subclasses. Java does support single inheritance. Then what next one? Multiple inheritance. It's the relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from more than one superclass to one or more subclasses. Okay. Here also the condition is going on number of superclasses. Here we must provide what there? More than one superclass, not like a single superclass. Fine. Java does not support multiple inheritance. Java does not support multiple inheritance. Why Java does not support multiple inheritance? No. Here we are giving some points here. Now try to understand the point here. Observe carefully. This is single inheritance and this is multiple inheritance. So more than one superclass in a single subclass, that's okay. But why it is not supported in the case of Java? If you observe this, if we take two superclasses, in both the superclasses we declared same variable and same method with the different values and different implementations. When it comes to the subclass, both are available. When I access that common variable and common method, then from which superclass that variable will be accessed, from which superclass the respective method will be accessed is a confusion state, is an ambiguity situation in Java applications. But Java is a simple programming language. To resolve this ambiguity situation in Java, Java has removed totally multiple inheritance from its programming. Java has removed completely multiple inheritance from its programming. So here multiple inheritance is not existed. All of you understand it clearly now. Right, sir. Because of that reason only, we can conclude that multiple inheritance is not available. The same point here I given there. If we declare the same variables and methods with the different values and different implementations in both the superclasses, and if we access that variable and method in a subclass, then which superclass provided variables and methods are accessed is a confusion state. It will increase confusion to the compilers, JVMs, and developers. But Java is a simple programming language. It does not allow the confusion-oriented features like multiple inheritance. But how it was restricted? How multiple inheritance was restricted in Java? Java has restricted multiple inheritance by defining extends keyword in such a way that to allow only one superclass name in a subclass declaration, not to allow more than one superclass name. Example we are given, class A extends B, okay, valid. But here what we provided no, class A extends B comma C. When we provide B comma C, two superclasses here we provided. When we provide two superclasses, no, now here we are getting what there invalid case here we are getting. That's it. Then the respective diagram also are given. But another point I've given there. What is that another point now? In a Python, multiple inheritance is allowed. How it is allowed here? For example, we can provide more than one class by taking a parenthesis along with the child class declaration. Parenthesis A comma B. Whenever we are using I is equal to I plus 10, first PVM will search for I variable in the same class C. If it is not available, then it will search for I variable in the superclasses. But how it able to search in the superclasses? No, in the order in which we provided superclasses. First, I variable will be checked in superclass A. If it is available, that value will be used. If it is not available in the superclass A, then it will go to what there? Superclass B. In the superclass B, if it is available, that value will be utilized. Still, if it is not available, directly it is able to provide some error. So, right or not? Okay, fine. For example, here in A class, I variable is 10. In B class, I variable is 20. Class C, A comma B. If we take this one, I is equal to I plus 10. First, I value will be checked in A. If it is already available or not, as it is available. What is the value? No, 10. I is equal to 10 plus 10. What is the resultant value? No, 20. Next, if we take this case, class D, B comma A. Class D, B comma A, where we are using I variable. When we use I variable, first JVM will check for I variable in the first superclass. What is this first superclass? Actually, B, class B is acting as what their first superclass. Now, inside the first superclass B, I value is what their 20. We have taken I is equal to 20 plus 10. Here we are getting the resultant value is what there 30. 30 is an output here we are getting. Is that all of you are getting it or not? So this is exactly the points here we can understand about like what they this multiple inheritance. It is not possible in Java, and which is possible in the case of Python. The required points here are given. That's it. Up to that we completed there in the last session. Now the next one is like what there. Destructors are required in C++, but destructors are not required in Java. This point here we have to understand. Destructors are required in C++, but destructors are not required in what there? Java. Right? We have to understand this point. Just give a minute of time. Right, sir. Now observe carefully. First of all, what is the meaning of destructor? What is the requirement of the destructor? First of all of you tell me, when a programming language is an object-oriented programming language, when we are able to say one programming language as an object-oriented programming language, points are very much clear. Already we understood that. If any programming language allows, if any programming language allows to represent data in the form of objects as per the object-oriented features, then that programming language is called an object-oriented programming language. That's it. All of you clear up to this part now? If any programming language is representing data in the form of objects as per the object-oriented features, then that programming language is called an object-oriented programming language. Got it or not? Fine. That's okay. Fine. This is the meaning of like what their object-oriented programming language. Okay. Fine. Next one. Observe carefully. In object-oriented programming languages, it is a convention. It is a convention to store data. That means instead of saying this store, to represent data in the form of objects. In object-oriented programming languages, this is a minimum to represent data in the form of like what their objects. Will I forget my point or not? All right, sir. This is minimum thing to represent data in the form of what their objects. So if you want to create objects, that means in Java, that means in object-oriented programming languages, two operations are minimum. See, for example, if you want to store data in the form of object, First we have to create objects or not? First we have to create object. After that only we are going to store data inside the objects. Okay, one point, one operation is very clear. We have to create objects. After creating object, we are going to store data inside the object. At the end of the program, what we have to do? We have to destroy that objects or not? At the end of the program, we have to destroy the objects. All of you observe carefully what I'm telling you now. So the point is what? In object-oriented programming languages, to represent data in the form of objects, first we have to create objects, comma, at the end of the application or program, we have to destroy objects. We have to destroy what their objects. In object-oriented programming languages, to represent data in the form of objects, first we have to create objects, and at the end of the program we have to destroy the objects. So here two operations are mandatory. What operations are mandatory? No, creating object and destroying the objects. These two operations are minimum in every object-oriented programming languages. Observe carefully. In object-oriented programming languages, listen carefully. In object-oriented programming languages, to create objects, in object-oriented programming languages, to create objects, we will use a separate feature called constructors. In object-oriented programming languages, to create objects, we will use a separate feature called constructor, and to destroy objects, we will use another separate feature called destructor. Is it? Are you getting my point or not? In object-oriented programming languages, to create objects, we will use a separate feature called constructor, and to destroy objects, we will use another separate feature called as what there? Destructor. They are the two features which are available in every object-oriented programming languages. Right. Now I'm giving the point. Try to understand it clearly. In C++, developers are responsible for creating objects and destroying objects. Developers are responsible for what they're creating objects and destroying objects. In C++, developers are responsible for creating objects and destroying objects. So in C++ applications, developers must use destructors to destroy objects. Hence, in C++, destructors are required. Hence, in C++, destructors are required. Try to understand my point here. In C++, developers are responsible for both creating objects and destroying objects. For creating objects, developers will use constructors. Anyway, that is not at all issue for us. Constructors are common in every programming language, including in Java. Constructors are available. But the point is what? In C++, developers are responsible for destroying the objects, so they have to use destructors. Hence, destructors are mandatory in the case of what there? C++. Got it or not? But what is there inside the Java? Observe carefully. In Java, developers are not responsible In Java, developers are not responsible. Okay, developers are responsible for creating objects only. Developers are not responsible for destroying objects. In C++, developers are responsible for destroying the objects. But in the case of Java, developers are not responsible for destroying the objects. Why developers are not responsible for destroying the objects? What is the reason for it now? Why? Because in Java, in Java, to destroy objects, there is an inbuilt component. There is an inbuilt component in the form of observe carefully, in the form of garbage collector. In the case of Java, to destroy objects, there is an inbuilt component in the form of garbage collector. Okay. So in Java, developers are not required to use destructors. In Java, developers are not required to use destructors. Hence, destructors are not existed in Java. All of you are getting clarity? Hence, destructors are not existed in Java. Better not. Points are very clear. So only one single point, but these many lines of data are given there for our clarity purpose. Only one point. In C++, developers must destroy the objects. To destroy the objects, developers must require destructors. So C++ must have destructors. In Java, developers are not at all responsible to destroy the objects. Okay, if developers are not destroying the objects, who is destroying the objects in Java there? There is an inbuilt component to destroy the objects. That inbuilt component is what there? Garbage collector. Due to the availability of the garbage collector, developers are not destroying the objects. So destructors feature is not required in the case of Java. That's it. Nothing, not more than this. Only this point. That's enough. Right? But for our information point of point by point, this much of notes I prepared here. But try to get advantage of these notes also. So the point is very much clear. Destructors are not required in Java because of garbage collector. Is a special feature inside the Java, but which is not there in the case of C++. Leave this one. This is about like what there, sixth point here, what we are getting there. Now coming to the another seventh point, another simple point here, observe carefully. Overall, 9 number of points are available. We have to understand all the 9 number of points now, but out of them, 6 are completed. Now the seventh one here, we have to understand. What is that seventh one here? Observe carefully. C and C++ are following call by value and call by reference parameter passing mechanisms. But Java is following only call by value parameter passing mechanism. There is no scope for call by reference parameter passing mechanism. This is point number 7. Right, sir. C and C++ are following call by value and call by reference parameter passing mechanisms, but Java is following only call by value parameter passing mechanism. So before understanding whether C, C++ and Java are following or not following call by value, call by reference parameter passing mechanisms, before that, first of all, we have to understand what is call by value and what is call by reference. What is the meaning of call by value? What is the meaning of call by reference? First, understand that. After that, we will think about it, whether we are going to follow them or not in C, C++ and Java. Right, sir? Observe carefully. In every programming language, we are going to write maybe methods, We are going to write maybe functions. Am I right or not? If it is a C and a C++, the terminology is a functions. If it is Java, the terminology is what their methods. Understand? But wherever it may be, maybe in some other programming languages, routines, some other programming languages, procedures, like names are different, but final thing is same. A set of finished sections in every case. Okay, right, understand it clearly. In all the programming languages, or in any programming language, if we pass primitive data, what is the data? No, primitive data. What is this primitive data? Now tell me here what we are understanding about it. No, byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, char. These data types are called as what? They're primitive data types. In all the programming languages or in any programming language, if we pass primitive data as a parameters to the methods or functions, in every programming language, in all the programming languages, if we pass primitive data as a parameter to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is called by value parameter passing mechanism. Called by value parameter passing mechanism. This is the basic awareness here we can understand. In all programming languages, if we pass primitive data, byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, character as parameters to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is what there? Called by value. We are calling a method by passing value. Okay, right, sir. Another point, observe carefully. In all the programming languages, if we pass address locations, directly I'm telling there, address locations as parameters to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is called by reference. Yes, sir. All of you understand it clearly? In all the programming languages, if we pass address locations, not like normal data, not like normal value, address locations, if we pass, then the parameter passing mechanism is called by reference. Is it? All of you are getting clarity in between what is call by value and call by reference? What is call by value? Now tell me. In all the programming languages, if we pass primitive data byte to short, that means int a is equal to 10, then a variable is an integer type. That if we pass there, call by value, and if we pass address locations, then that program, then that mechanism is what there? Call by reference. Right. Now coming to the point. In a C and C++ applications, if we pass pointer variables as a parameters to the methods, in C and C++ applications, if we pass pointer variables as a parameters to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is called by reference only. It's like what they're called by reference only. It's not called by value. Why, sir? What is the reason for it? No, we know already the reason here. Passing pointer variable in the sense passing what? Address locations or normal value. Address locations. When we pass address location as parameter to the method, then the parameter passing mechanism is what there? Call by value only, call by reference only. Right, so the point is what? It is not call by value. Why? Because in C and C++ applications, pointer variables are able to are able to represent, pointer variables are able to represent address locations directly. Able to represent what their address locations directly. Right, son. This is what exactly the point here we can understand. This is in the case of what their C and C++. In C and C++, if you pass pointer variables as parameters to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is called by reference only. It is not called by value. Why? Because in C and C++ applications, pointer variables are able to represent address locations directly. Similarly, in Java, observe carefully, in Java, if we pass object to reference variable, again I'm asking to you now, tell me, as per your previous awareness, last few classes I've discussed some points there. As per that, I'm asking one question. First of all, tell me what is object to reference value, or else what is reference variable? Now tell me what is reference variable. Now tell me. A reference variable is a variable which stores what value? Object reference value. What is object reference value? What is object reference value? Hexadecimal form of hash code. What is a hash code? Hash code is an unique identity provided by the heap manager for each and every object in the heap memory. That unique identity is provided in the form of integer value. Hash code is an integer value provided by heap manager for each and every object in order to recognize that objects independently. Right, sir. Now here reference, here hash code value is not address location. Reference value is not address location. Reference variable is not representing any address location. In this case, if we pass object reference variable as a parameter to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is called by value only, not called by reference. Then the parameter passing mechanism is called by value only, not called by reference. Yes, sir. Are you getting it or not? In Java, if you pass object reference variables as parameters to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is called by value only, not called by reference. Why? Because what is the reason here? Again, I have to give the same point here. Why? Because in Java, object to reference variable is a variable it is able to store object to reference value, where the object to reference value is a hexadecimal form of hash code, where object reference value is a hexadecimal form of what their hash code. Observe carefully. Okay, where hash code is an unique identity provided by the where hash code is a unique identity provided by the heap manager in the form of an integer value. That's it. Now this is the total scenario about like what there, like a hash code, that means call by reference and call by value inside the Java. In Java, only one thing is available. What thing is available? No, call by value is only be available. There is no chance of getting what there, call by reference. Why? Because even if you pass reference variable as a parameter to the method, then the parameter passing mechanism is what there, call by value only. Why? Because a reference variable is not representing any address location. It is representing some reference value of the object. Where object reference value is nothing but hexadecimal form of hash code, where hash code is a unique identity provided by heap manager for each and every object in the form of an integer value. So there is no chance of getting what there call by reference in the case of Java. In Java, what is available here now? Only call by value is available. That's it. Clear? Now this is one of the point here we can understand. Let's move on to the next point here. Small points only. First 3 or 4 points are important. Somewhat lengthy discussion here we provided. Next few points are very simple. Simple points only. All right. Now coming to the point number 8. Rule number 8. Try to understand it clearly now. Operator overloading is not possible in Java. Operator overloading is not possible in Java. Alright, sir. Before going to understand operator overloading is possible or not possible in Java, first of all, what is an operator overloading? From where this operator overloading concept is coming, that all the points here we have to understand. So I have some clear-cut points here. Now try to understand it clearly. Some points are very much common as per our might be content here. No, understand this clearly. First of all, tell me when a programming language is an object-oriented programming language. First of all, tell me if any programming language allows its applications to represent data in the form of objects by following the object-oriented features, then that programming language is called an object-oriented programming language. How many object-oriented features are available, sir? Now tell me. There are 7 number of object-oriented features. What are the 7 number of object-oriented features here? Now tell me. First one is a class. Next one is what there? Object. Then what next one here? Encapsulation. Next one is what there? Abstraction. Then after this, after completion of this, what next one? Inheritance. Then polymorphism. And finally, message passing. Right, sir? Message passing. These are overall 7 number of object-oriented features are available. Sorry. In object-oriented programming languages, we are able to write programs in the form of classes. Okay, where the classes are able to be represented all the real-world entities. Already, this kind of introduction I given there regarding these points here. Not required to discuss about this content now. Leave this one here. From these many object-oriented features, now here I have to locate operator overloading. Out of these many object-oriented features, now I have to locate what their operator overloading, where it is available. If we want to understand that operator overloading, first here we have to understand like what their polymorphism. Yes, sir, we have to understand like what their polymorphism. What is this polymorphism actually? What is the meaning of this polymorphism? Simple definition, sir. Polymorphism is a Greek word. Polymorphism is a Greek word, where poly means many and morphism means forms or structures, and so on. Maybe anything. That's the meaning of this polymorphism word. Polymorphism is a Greek word. It is not an English word. Where poly means many and morphism means what their forms or structures. If one thing exists in a more than one form, then it is called polymorphism. If one thing exists in more than one form, then it is called what? Polymorphism. Say, number of examples are available for this polymorphism. More and more number of examples are available. In outside, if you observe this, some polyclinic hospitals are available. Nowadays, maybe multi-specialty hospitals. Nowadays, maybe super specialty hospitals. If we take all of them, then what is going to be available here? Now tell me. That should be a single place for all the types of diseases or not? A single hospital is able to provide services for heart-related issues, maybe gynecologists, maybe orthopedics, maybe Answer my point, like multiple different domains are available, but a single place is providing solution for multiple diseases or not. That hospital is for heart related, that hospital is for what there, like orthopedic, that hospital is for what there, some gynecology. That means if we observe these points now, but one thing is utilized in multiple ways or not. So if one thing is exist in multiple forms, then it is called as what? Polymorphism. So all of you get my point or not? Number of examples are available if you want to take it now. For example, if you take a vehicle is the name I'm using there, but different forms of vehicles are available. Two-wheeler is one of the vehicle, car is another vehicle, bus is another vehicle. Am I right or not? Maybe tractor or maybe lorry, like these are like what the vehicles, but vehicle is one. But how many are available? Multiple forms are available or not? So this is called as what there? Polymorphism. For example, account. Multiple accounts are available, different types of accounts are available. What are the various types of accounts there? Savings account, current account, or maybe employees account, student account, like different types of accounts are available. So again, all these are like what there? Polymorphism. So polymorphism we can represent in a number of ways in outside, in more number of ways in outside here. Not to think much about it. Fine, sir. Anyway, so this is the meaning of like what there? Polymorphism. Okay, fine. But what is the advantage of this polymorphism? First of all, tell me what is the advantage of the inheritance? What is the advantage of inheritance, guys? Now tell me. The main advantage of inheritance is what there? Code reusability. Declare code in a super class and reuse the same code in what there? Subclasses. Code reusability. Similarly, what is the main advantage of the polymorphism? The main advantage of the polymorphism is, again I'm telling there, flexibility. Flexibility is an advantage. Flexibility to develop the applications. Flexibility to develop the application. The main advantage of the polymorphism is flexibility. Right, sir? Then what is the meaning of flexibility? Any advantage, any example for it? Right, sir. I can give one simple example in every class, but try to understand that example here. What is that example here I'm telling to you? All of you observe carefully. The main advantage of polymorphism is what there? Flexibility. What is the meaning of it? No. For example, if you take Durgasoft, which is an organization where courses are going on, that courses taught by trainers, number of trainers are available. Case one, two cases I'm taking there. Now case number one I'm taking now. What about this case number one? Observe carefully. Core Java is a subject. Core Java subject is handled by only one faculty. For example, case one I'm telling there, Core Java is a subject that is handled by only one trainer, that is taught by only one trainer. Case number one. Case number two, Core Java is a subject. Multiple faculties are available for Core Java. Multiple trainers are available for Core Java. Multiple trainers have started their own batches for completing Core Java. So 5 Core Java trainers are available, but Core Java is a single, but 5 trainers are available. They can handle that Core Java in their own way. It's clear? All of you get my point here? All right. Now the point here, what I'm telling to you from this particular one, which one is advantage to the student? If you are the student, which case is advantage to you? Core Java with one trainer, Core Java with 5 trainers, which one is more advantage to you? 5 trainers or one trainer? 5 trainers. How can you say 5 trainers? No. How can you say 5 trainers? No. Yes, there is a flexibility. For example, if you take the case one trainer for Core Java, first you will attend for the demo class. For example, if you are interested for that classes, no, then we can go for it. We can join with the classes. If we don't like that class, for example, if you're not interested in that class, but do you have any alternative if it is only one faculty for Core Java? Do you have any alternative for it? No, we don't have any alternative. But you want to join with Durgasoft only, that we decided. But unfortunately, trainer is not good. So with the force or without having interest, you have to join with the class or not. There no flexibility we are getting. But 5 faculty members are teaching core Java, their own batches. I'm not saying one batch dealt by 5 members. One batch, one faculty. Like this, 5 core Java faculties are available. They're having their individual batches now. Then as part of it, what we are able to do there? Part of it, what we are able to do now? First of all, we will attend for one faculty class. There we will check the status. If you like it, it's okay. If you don't like it, then we'll go for second faculty demo class. In the second faculty demo class also, we will see the same content. May go for third faculty, fourth faculty, 5 faculty. Up to 5 faculties, you can see the demo classes. Up to 5 faculties, we can see what their demo classes. Yes, sir. Are you getting it or not? Up to 5 faculties, we can see what their demo classes. Got it or not? When we have seen 5 faculty members demo classes, then after that, we will decide which faculty you want to join. We'll compare all the classes there, and finally we may decide on which faculty we have to attend for the courses. Now here we have some flexibility. So if core Java is only one form, no flexibility. If core Java is in multiple forms, there is a flexibility. Understand my point now? Students can decide, students can take on which classes they want to take. Right, so now this is exactly the meaning of like what there, the meaning of like what there, flexibility from polymorphism. Okay, sir, good. The main advantage of polymorphism is what there, flexibility. All right, sir. How many types of polymorphisms are available? There are 2 types of polymorphisms. There are 2 types of polymorphisms. What are the 2 types of polymorphisms now? First one is like what there, static polymorphism, and the second one is what there, dynamic polymorphism. Dynamic polymorphism. First one is what there, static polymorphism, and second one is what there, dynamic polymorphism. So here, what is the meaning of static polymorphism and what is the meaning of dynamic polymorphism? Here itself we have to understand it clearly. See, wherever we have the word static, by default we can think of it as a compilation time maximum up to object orientation. In object orientation, I will go with separate content here. So if the polymorphism is identified at a compilation time, if the polymorphism is identified at compilation time, then that polymorphism is called static polymorphism. Then that polymorphism is called as what there, static polymorphism. Right, sir. If the polymorphism is identified at compilation time, then that polymorphism is called what there, static polymorphism. Okay, good. Example, if you observe the static polymorphism, overloading is an example for what there, static polymorphism. Then what is the meaning of dynamic polymorphism here? Exactly opposite, dynamic. Whenever we are saying dynamic, automatically at what time we have to think, no, execution time, run time here. No. If the polymorphism is identified at a runtime, or at execution time, then that polymorphism is called dynamic polymorphism. That polymorphism is called as what there, dynamic polymorphism. Alright, sir. Now here also I need to go for an example. Example is what there, overriding. Example is what there, overriding. Dynamic polymorphism is what? If the polymorphism is identified at runtime or at execution time, then that polymorphism is called dynamic polymorphism. Example is what there, overriding. Actually, our point is what now? No, our point is actually what is the title here? Operator overloading is not possible in Java. What is an operator overloading? I want to say that point. That's why I'm talking about all these points. From where this operator overloading is coming, from the polymorphism, from where this polymorphism is coming, from the object-oriented programming languages. That's why here we are discussing about all the points. Now, observe carefully, all of you know, there are 2 types of overloadings. There are 2 types of overloadings. What are the 2 types of overloadings now? First one is method overloading, and second one is operator overloading. Method overloading, operator overloading. Right, sir. Now, what is this method overloading? Simple example. What is the meaning of method overloading? If we declare more than one method, if we declare more than one method with the same name and with a different parameter list, then it is called method overloading. Right, sir? Now observe carefully. What is the point I'm telling there? If we declare more than one method with the same name and with a different parameter list, then it is called method overloading. I want to take a simple example. Try to recognize this. Class calculator, cal. Inside this class calculator, I want to take like what the void add. Right, sir? Void add of into I comma into j. Void, for example, add float f1 comma float f2. Void add of string str1 string comma string str2. Observe carefully. Calculator is a class I have taken. Inside the calculator class, how many methods here we have taken? Now tell me. How many methods here we have taken there? 3 methods here we have taken overall. Am I right or not? Observe carefully. In all 3 methods, name is same or different? Name is same or different? Definitely name is what they're same. But parameter list is same or different? Parameter list is what they're different. So this representation is called method overloading. And this is recognized at the time of compilation only. Compiler should recognize this one. So this is an example for what their static polymorphism. Right, sir. Now observe carefully. This is about like what their method overloading. The point here we are discussing there clearly. All right. One more point I'm telling there. Now tell me, method name is same or not? Method name is same. That is one. But it is available in how many forms now? How many implementations are available? 3 implementations are available. So one thing is available in multiple forms or not? Polymorphism. Okay. Right, sir. Next one is, after completion of this, now we require operator overloading. What is the meaning of this operator overloading? Observe carefully, all of you know. If we declare an operator, with more than one operation, observe carefully, if we declare an operator with more than one operation or functionality or more than one functionality, then that operator is called overloaded operator, and the process is called operator overloading. That process is called as what there? Operator overloading. So this is the meaning of like what there? Operator overloading. Tell me, sir, all of you now tell me what is the meaning of operator overloading. If we declare an operator with more than one operation, then that operator is called overloaded operator, and that process is called what there? Operator overloading. Got it or not? Okay, fine. Example here I'm telling to you, try to understand this example. Simple example, int a is equal to 10, int b is equal to 20, int c is equal to a plus b semicolon. String str1 is equal to abc, string str2 is equal to def, string str3 is equal to str1 plus str2. Now here we can understand clearly. Here system dot out dot println of C. Are you aware about what is the meaning of this system dot out dot println? What is the meaning of system dot out dot println? To display some data on command prompt. In C programming language, printf function is there now. Printf. In the case of C++, C out is available now. In the same way, in the case of Java, what is available here now? System.out.println method. The system.out.println method is able to display the data on a command prompt. Okay, fine. Now, after this, now another one here I want to use. Now try to recognize this. What is this another one here I'm telling to you? Now here, system.out.println of str3, for example. All of you understand it clearly. Here plus is an operator we have used. Here plus is for arithmetic addition. Am I right or not? Here plus is for what there? Arithmetic addition. Adding two numbers, adding two values. But here plus is for what purpose there? Here plus is for string concatenation. Here plus is for what purpose there? No, string concatenation. Get my point or not? Here string concatenation. Plus is for what purpose there? No, string concatenation. Okay, fine. Here the result value is what there? For example, here the result value is what there? 10 plus 20. The value is what there? 30. But here the result value is what there? A, B, C, D, E, F. Concatenation. A, B, C, D, E, F is an output here we are getting. Now tell me, how many operators here we have used here? Only one operator. But how many functionalities here we are performing there? No, two functionalities here we are performing. So operator plus is having overloaded functionality or not? Operator plus is having overloaded functionality or not? So this is the meaning of like what there? Operator overloading. Clear? All of you are getting clarity now? Fine. Now the point is what? Why operator overloading is not possible in Java? Why it is not existed in Java? We need to understand this point here. If you observe this point now, in Java, operator overloading is not possible. Why? Because reason number one. Understand it clearly. It is a rarely used feature in the application development, especially with respect to the Java. It's not at all required. Almost all dead in outside application development. It's very rarely used feature. So nobody will have concentration on this particular content. Java doesn't have any concentration over what there. This operator overloading. Why? Because Java is not going to use this kind of feature in its applications. Why? Because it's a rarely used feature, not frequently used feature. This is one point. Next one is what there after this, after completion of this. Second point is like what I'm telling to you. It is a bit confusion oriented feature. It's a bit confusion oriented feature. Why, sir? Why it is a bit confusion oriented feature? No, it's a bit of a confusion oriented feature. When it is a confusion oriented feature? No, when we declare more operators with more functionalities. With more number of operators with more number of functionalities, there is a bit confusion oriented feature. Why? Because if we have 10 operators, each operator has 10 functionalities. How it is possible to trace this which operator for which functionality? One operator, one functionality. One operator, two functionalities are okay, good. But one operator for 10 functionalities, like this 10 operators for 10 functionalities, in the sense which operator is for which functionality is totally confusion or not? There automatically confusion will be increased or not? Observe carefully what I'm telling you. So because of this reason here, what I'm telling now, this operator overloading is a bit confusing, confusion oriented feature. So because of this reason, Java does not allow this operator overloading in its application development. This is one point. But if you give this much of clarity, immediately interviewer may ask one more question to you know. What is that question here? Okay, good. Up to now, whatever the reasons you have given, valid, no problem. I do agree that. But the point is, for operator overloading, you shown some code. You have prepared some code. You have seen this is an example for operator overloading. You said to me, is this code is not possible in Java? Is it possible or not possible in Java? Definitely, this code is possible in Java. It's possible in Java. Once this code is possible in Java, it represents multiple inner, sorry, it represents like operator overloading. So you have to accept that operator overloading is possible inside the Java. If this code is possible in Java, then we are agreed that then operator overloading is available inside the Java. But how can you say operator overloading is not possible in Java? Right. Further, I'm giving one point here. Now try to understand it clearly. What is the point here? I'm telling to you. Observe carefully. As per the Java internal requirement, what is that? As per the Java internal requirement, Java made some of the predefined operators as overloaded operators with fixed functionalities. As per the Java internal requirements, Java made some of the predefined operators as overloaded operators with the fixed functionalities. But Java has not provided any option for the developers to perform operator overloading explicitly. Implicitly, operator overloading is available inside the Java. The Java made some of the predefined operators as overloaded operators with fixed functionalities. It's okay up to internal, but Java has not given any option for the developers to perform operator overloading explicitly. Sir, got it or not? So in that way also we are able to understand finally operator overloading is not possible explicitly in Java, but internally operator overloading is going to be happen for the fixed number of operators with the fixed functionalities. What are the predefined operators which are overloaded operators actually? Plus already we have seen, plus star already we have seen. Next one is what is the slash and so on and so on and so on. These are like what they are overloaded operators, predefined overloaded operators. In multiple situations, we are going to use these operators. But for example, plus is an operator. If you ask me, plus is by default addition operator, but define subtraction with this plus no. That means I have to define explicitly. Java has not provided that. But if I want to do this explicitly, then it is not possible. If you want to do this explicitly, then it is not possible. Java has not given any library to perform operator overloading explicitly. So that's why we can conclude that implicitly operator overloading is possible in Java, but explicitly operator overloading is not possible in the case of Java. That means Java provided operator overloading is available in Java. Understand my point now? But Java provided operator overloading is available, but explicitly if you want to do operator overloading, then it is not possible in the case of Java. That's it. Now this is about like what there operator overloading and its possibilities in the case of Java. Next one is last point about this. After completion of this operator overloading and all the things, no, the last point is like what there. Observe carefully. In C and C++, characters will take 1 byte of memory. Characters will take 1 byte of memory, and integers will take 4 bytes of memory. But in Java, characters will take 2 bytes of memory, and integers will take and integers will take 4 bytes of memory. That's it. Now this is a point here what we are understanding. In C and C++, characters will take 1 byte of memory and integers will take 4 bytes of memory. But in Java, characters will take 2 bytes of memory and integers will take 4 bytes of memory. That's it. They are the points here we have to understand. Okay. So anyway, then time is already completed. I need to go for some elaborated explanation for it. Tomorrow, I'm going to explain this content. Tomorrow is a Saturday, right? Last Saturday we have taken gap, but this Saturday is available every week. Minimum 6 days of time we have to work. Tomorrow also we have a session. Don't miss the class on tomorrow. Tomorrow I will complete it as early as possible. Then I will start Java features topic, another topic. Java features. After the Java features, Java programming format, Java naming conventions. After that, steps to prepare first Java program. In steps to prepare first Java program, we are going to understand how to download Java software, how to install right from scratch. Everything I'm able to show. By that, we are able to get some clarity. Okay. Right, sir. That's all for today. Then we'll meet on tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll see the remaining content. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, same time. Yeah, same time we are able to get it. Mm. Hmm. Fine. 2 bytes, not 4 bytes. Sure, sure. Yeah. Aragil. Aragil. Hmm. Hmm. For example, percentile if you take no, the modulo operation is able to perform there. Percentile, modulo operation we can perform, and modulo reminder value, right? That's one thing. Second one is formatted input output. For example, in C we might be seeing that printf of a value, then percentile d we are getting now, and that will be like that formatted input. There we are using that percentile now, two functionalities. If you take star, star is multiplication. Again, import java dot ivo dot star. Again, in the import statement we are using it in C, not in Java. Thank you. No, no, then this is different. No, then maybe they are in the language fundamentals ending topic. Language fundamentals ending concepts. Then maybe then within few days we will come to the 10 o'clock classes. Yeah, exactly. At whoops onwards we have to come at 10 o'clock also. Acha, already you are attending at evening classes. Evening which class you are attending? Acha, you are attending there. Okay. Evening classes on which date onwards you started? Right from beginning you are attending there evening classes. So bit wise you are attending. So missing then you missed some classes then. Yeah, at 10 o'clock there's a language fundamentals. Now I'm discussing about if conditions, and today I'm going to start what are the switch cases. Also, as you wish. This one, same classroom. Thank you. Sunday class are not available on this Sunday. Then after starting object orientation, I may take class on Sundays also. Okay. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot.